Hello everyone, I'm Ernie and I am so glad you're here with us today.
Hey, I'm Chris Ralph, the professional prospector. That's my YouTube channel, and I'm here. We're up at the Virginia City area doing a little prospecting.
And Chris Ralph is going to give us a little bit of history about this area because this is a historic spot, and then he's going to show me how to find some high-grade ore because I definitely need the education. And so let's get to it.
So we're standing at a spot within, it's changed a lot since 1859. It didn't look like this back then, but we're within 50 or 100 feet of a spot that was the discovery spot for the Comstock Lode. And it was two guys that they had lived in this area and prospected, and they were down south of Silver City and which is where most of the prospecting and the placer mining was done. And the placer doesn't grow back. You mine it and well, then it's gone, right? It doesn't. So they get the best stuff and then, keep getting it and pretty soon they're only left with the worst stuff. And so some guys came up here down below Virginia City in 6 Mile Canyon, and they made a little discovery of a small placer area, and a bunch of guys came up there and they mined there. But even within that, about 6 months, that one was played out too. And so the guys were kind of getting desperate. So two guys came way up here, actually above Virginia City in 6 Mile Canyon, and they went up here, and there's a little ravine behind us, and some water was coming down because it was early, late spring, and there was still a little bit of melting snow and a little bit of water coming down. And they dug a little hole so that they could collect some of the water because they were using a rocker. And they were digging some of the dirt in this area, and they're getting a little bit of gold, nothing to, really get excited about. And so they thought, well, we're going to save up whatever gold we have, and we're going to get out of here because there's no more gold here. It's not worth doing it. They heard about an exciting discovery over in eastern side of the Sierras in California, over near Mono Lake, and they were wanting to get going and get out of here, but they needed to get a little bit of grub stake. So they saved their gold, and they were digging their pond, their little hole where they collected the water, digging it deeper and deeper, and they hit some blackish, bluish stuff that looked weird to them. But they thought, hey, we might as well try running that through our rocker and see if we get anything. And they were surprised because they were getting, a few dollars a shovel full. And there was a whole bunch of this dark stuff, and they just started mining it. And sometimes I heard that they were getting up to the equivalent of about $12 a pan. And so they were getting really good gold, and they were excited. And that became the initial discovery of the Ophir ore body. And millions of dollars worth of gold and silver came out of here. And actually the day that they made their discovery, Henry Comstock came up here and said, hey boys, this is my property. Although he never filed any paperwork, but they didn't argue with him, and they said, we'll go in shares. And Comstock was okay with that. And so Comstock gave his name to the deposit, and they called it the Comstock Lode. And those guys mined for a while, and you'd think that they all got rich, right? Well, sort of, but those guys, they weren't really good with money. They would get money and they would blow it. And the last of the guys, the original finders to sell out, got $40,000, which in those days, it would be like the equivalent of getting $1 million today. And within 6 months, he was penniless again. Oh, wow. He spent it all. So, it's a great area. Virginia City has a lot of fun touristy things to do. It's very historic, and there's still ore on the dumps to be looked at here.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. And Chris is going to educate me. I'm looking forward to it. And Chris, I am so thankful that you're here, and I'm so thankful that you guys are here. And let's get to it.
You bet.
At this point in time, Chris is going to teach me how to find some high-grade ore in this pile. And Chris, what do you got to say?
Well, this is an old pile from mining back in the early part of the 1900s. And they kind of sorted stuff here, and they would assay test it, and if it was good, they'd haul it back and mill it. And even if it wasn't good, you know, they'd leave it here. But even the stuff that wasn't good, they still had a lot of pretty decent rock in it. So if you sort through it and pick out the good stuff, you should get a really good high-grade result from doing an assay test. We got, what, about a third of a bucket there. And that should make, you know, you should end up with more than a cup of sulfides. Which is
more than what I normally do.
Yeah, a lot more than what you normally do.
Chris understands. I'm more of a tour guide than a prospector or a miner.
No, you're getting better and better. But, you know, even if you end up with 2 cups of sulfides, you don't have to run it all in one run, right?
Right.
You could do more than one run, collect the lead and then do the cupellation and put it all together and then see what you got as the total.
Right. Absolutely. And I just want to say a great big thank you to Chris, because Chris knows I need help. And, you know, and the thing is, we all need help. And that's what collaboration is all about, is because I will never get better unless someone better than me educates me.
I always learn things from experienced guys, and even from new guys. Sometimes I get ideas that I wouldn't have thought of myself.
Right. And so it's important for us to know, you know, because I'm not prideful. I'd rather not have any pride. Come out here and find some good material, good silver, good gold, than to come out here and strike out because I'm too proud. And so Chris is going to show us what he's picked out so far, and we'll show you some really good stuff that he's gotten.
We've just kind of gone through this pile. We look for some of the kind of the iron stain, because the good ore has some pyrite in it, but it also has galena, which is lead sulfide, and sphalerite, which is zinc sulfide, mixed with silver sulfides. And you look for the galena and sphalerite, because that's what the indicator is that the silver is going to be with it, and the gold too. And so you should end up with a decent sized silver bead, and then you can use your nitric acid to part the two so that you end up with silver, and the silver will go into solution in the nitric, and then the gold you'll be left with whatever gold is left behind. And this ore has decent gold, it has really good silver, and hopefully we've got a sample there that'll really show a nice bead for you when you do the assay work on it.
Nice. And we'll do that on a separate episode, but right now we're going to get back to this and let's get to it.
Sounds great.
Okay, we have moved on to a new location. Local geologist and good friend of ours, Alex Dolbeare, has come and joined us. I will leave a link to Chris's channel in my description box.
Hello, my name is Alex, and I'm friends of Chris and Ernie's. And I love coming out here and enjoying the outdoors, looking at rocks. And in the future, I plan to release my own YouTube channel. As of right now, I've just been too busy with life, as we all go through. But look forward to having some content released to you guys in the future. Just so overgrown that it doesn't look like a dump anymore.
Yeah.
Of course, I think they were going through garbage rock, low grade or no grade.
I was going to say,
it doesn't,
garbage is probably too kind a term.
And the dump, based on the size, they must have driven this at it pretty far. You know, maybe 200 feet.
And that looks like it could
Yeah, that looks mineralized.
be mineralized.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Hard to say. It doesn't look like the typical ore from around here. It's kind of what I was thinking. See, and here's some mineralized. Yeah, we got. Yeah, this is looking better. This is actually propylatized and iron stained. Like that looks like that might be mineralization there.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough to get them mining it.
I'm just going to look at this with my loop.
It looks like the right kind of.
There was a little pyrite, you know, in the cracks on this.
Oh.
It's now all limonite and goethite, but
Yep,
it was originally pyrite. That little brown thing right there. That.
Oh
was
yeah, that's definitely. Was there any visible gold in that?
No, I looked.
No.
I looked.
I'll look it over. That's pretty interesting. And here's a larger quartz vein. It almost looks like it's got a darker mineral in it right there, kind of like the vein up at my place. And it might just be manganese.
You want the hammer to whack it off?
Yeah, I'll just look at it. It's actually, yeah, I think that's silver. That's silver mineralization. There's a vein down here that has visible silver in it on the outcrop.
I'm going to try and remove that.
That chunk?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
not very stable, is it?
Not very stable either.
Moving it so you can get a better angle.
Yeah. Look, you can actually look like looks like slicking sides.
Yep. Pieces that had a little bit more of that out of the dump pile. That's where my assay came from. But it's got the gray bleed out of the iron. Or there's actually a little bit elevated copper with this as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. I always find geochem to be important in trying to figure out maybe more about your
yeah,
deposit.
but if you're trying to figure stuff out, it makes a huge difference.
Because assay only tells you gold and silver. The geochem tells you the whole story maybe on the rock that you're looking at. My highest grade, I noticed that like it was almost 20,000 ppm aluminum. And I don't see those numbers anywhere except for with my high grade. So I know to kind of be on the watch out for the aluminum based clays. But ultimately, yeah, it's different from this fresher quartz. It's very much iron oxide gouge.
Yeah.
So it had some movement, and that's seems to be where the mineralization. But there's actually a vein here, if I can find it in this lighting. There's a vein here that...
Yeah, I see the vein.
Right here.
Yep.
That has this really red hematite staining to it. You can kind of see some of the hematite staining on this too.
Yep.
And where I see that, that's where I get that higher gold silver grades. And I've busted this kind of stuff up and seen clots of, I think it's a canthite, a lower temperature silver sulfide. And I've slabbed a few pieces. I have them where there's clots of the gray mineral around fresh pyrite.
Yeah, it goes on as a little vein. You know,
yeah. But yeah, you get that. Well, that piece isn't a good example, but there is this red, very red hematite that
you can kind of see in here.
Yeah.
You know, in the vein.
Yeah. So that one,
there's just like this iron oxide zone.
Yep. Yeah. The wall rock has a lot more iron with it. But then
that would probably be good to
chip out
and crush up.
So I think a lot of the stuff over here is actually there. Oh, here's a good example of that red hematite. This was up against the vein, but that red on it, when it's in the quartz, that tends to be where the high grade gold and silver is associated. I don't necessarily think that piece has a lot of gold in it or silver, because that's the wall rock where it touched the vein.
I don't know. I see something.
Oh, do you?
Where's my... Here it is. I could be wrong, but it's close enough to be worth looking at.
Right.
No.
No.
It's just iron stained quartz.
Okay. Stacks of gold. I'm pretty sure it was that one.
I think I can see one.
Okay.
Anyway.
They were very small.
Yes, it's very small. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to look at some of those darker spots in there. When I wetted it, I didn't see them. So the advantage of looking at them dry and wet, so you don't see all the dark minerals in there until I go like this, and then there's things that pop up. So when you look at them with your hand lens, look at them dry and then look at them wet. Look at that with my hand lens. Actually looks like arsenopyrite. It's real pale.
Yeah, it looked very silvery to me.
It
probably
looks,
is arseno.
Yeah.
Is there an arsenic analog of kermesite?
I don't think so. I'd have to look at the geochemical
Maybe
makeup.
you could invent.
The only reason I didn't go further with it is because of the chalcedony. It would wear out the hammers in my crusher like really fast.
That little thing has several little pieces of gold in it. Little tiny specks, but they're gold. It's really unusual to find basically hot spring deposits near an actual gold deposit.
Typically indicative of a top of a epithermal system. Like that.
Yeah.
So I don't have a story on this.
And these rocks have adularia on them.
Yeah, they have adularia. These were probably piled here for someone's location
Claim
marker or
yeah.
back in the day. But other than that, I don't have a story on this. There's a spot down here where they dammed up and did plasters down in this little ravine here. In fact, there you can kind of see where they pitched some over there. Just down in this, at the bottom of the ravine, there's little pitch piles of cobble.
Really, they actually...
Yeah, they worked it.
Well, it's the ravine down from all this stuff.
Yeah.
I give that to my granddaughter.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll clean all the dirt off of it.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you find the quartz like that, and then it has cactus growth crystals on top of the crystals.
Huh.
Well, those are kind of cool.
So, hot mineralized solutions that come up from below are held under pressure down deep, and so they're at temperatures much higher than boiling. And then when they get closer to the surface, the pressure is relieved and they can't stay at that high temperature anymore, so they start to boil. And then you get textures, special textures that show show the fact that there's been boiling mineralized fluids here, which is consistent with the hot springs and other signs that were near the
shallow
top,
crustal level of the system.
That were near the top where the pressure came off and the solution started to boil.
Mm-hmm. And usually these are at the top of the mineralized zone.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that this is a piece of float from somewhere. I don't think it's in place.
I think you're right.
It's float that has come down, but that is what
still,
you
it's
see at the very top of the mineralized zone.
Yep.
Well, this wraps up this episode, and I am so glad that each of you are here. I'm glad that Chris and Alex is here. And Alex, what would you like to say?
I would like to say that I look forward to releasing some content to you in the future.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Ernie. I really enjoyed it. There's some good gold and silver to be found in northern Nevada, around generally the Virginia City area. There's still great places to prospect and explore, and a lot of interesting rocks and minerals to be seen.
Yes, and we're so thankful that you're here. And if you enjoyed this episode, spank that like button on my channel and on Chris's channel. And if you haven't subscribed to Chris's channel or my channel, we encourage you to subscribe and to become part of our AU family. We would love to have you in the family, and we would like you to share this on your channel, so for those who can't go out and explore and learn, that your friends and your subscribers will be able to learn a lot from both Chris and Alex. Because gosh, while I videotape this, I learned so much just by listening to these guys. And so I hope you will learn too. We're so thankful that you're here, and we will see you on the next one.